Now, I say yes because you hear limitless and now instantly think of a buffet. And when I say that, I mean it physically, but also psychologically and even spiritually. So let me explain. So when I think of a buffet, obviously, back in the day when you were broke and you had no money, you seen a little Chinese buffet. It was $6.99. It's me and my friends talked about that literally last night. Like, remember we went to that Chinese buffet and then everybody was sick afterwards and all that good stuff, right? So in the moment, you see limitless, you think I'm gonna eat everything inside. I'm gonna eat everything and eat till I pop, right? And then you do that, and then what happens? You're sick, you don't feel good. Sometimes you feel it in the physical with food. That's the most obvious, but we don't realize when we're doing it spiritually or psychologically. So let me explain. We talked about this before in this podcast. I'm gonna keep talking about it. I am an advocate for not watching the news. I am anti-news. I am anti propaganda. I listen to my grandma. She always talks about, she just studies the news. You would think she gets a notepad out and takes notes. It's just like she can keep up with everything in the news and will remember word for word. And I'm just so scared. And I'm just like, turn it off. So you're at that point, you're indulging on a bunch of that. Sometimes we get caught up in social media, right? One who has a bad habit of doing it, websites, or not websites, but like Instagram places like the Shade Room and Baller Alert and TMZ. That was the one that was still accurate, but those places thrive on that negativity. And that's what it is. And when you're constantly bombarded with the mess, what they don't tell you about bombarding yourself with mess is you start to live in paranoia, because now you're wondering, oh man, I wonder if I'm being watched. And they never talk about this part. Oh, I wonder if somebody saw me do that, or did they see me do this? And it's like, you're not a celebrity, one. You should feel like you're being watched to an extent, but you're not a celebrity. No one's keeping up with you. But two, it's just it increases, which I didn't plan on going with this conversation, but a lot of people's limitations, which we talked about again, season 7. But living a limitless life, you cannot live a limitless life if you are bound by fear. There we go. You cannot live a limitless life if you are bound by fear. Now, I want to go back to the happy hour segment. And I talked about people who reached their peak in high school, where you look at people and it's like, wow, like, I thought you were going to be so much more than what you are. Do you know people like that? And or if that person was to come to you as a client, would you be able to help them?
Yeah, I actually know a lot of people like that, and I have helped them because something happened along the way, right? Like they had all this self-confidence, clarity, but again, a lot of times it was metric bound, right? It was whatever was there at that moment. Like think about it, in high school, there's also metrics. Football star, cheerleader, or like student council president, whatever. And then afterwards, they leave there, they lose that community, but they tied that community just to that place.